Karma, this is your weekly reading for the sign of Capricorn. So let us take a look and see. I can't get lighting right for anything today. All right, so here we are doing your Capricorn reading for this week for February 24th. And it's been the end of Mercury retrograde, so we're going to start seeing some of this energy start to ebb a little bit. And from when I was listening to Chutzabala, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but from Nightlight Astrology, he was talking about Venus in Pisces. So we're going to be feeling a lot of emotions. We're going to be feeling a little bit more hope. I liked his analogy for that. You get an opportunity to check that out. I would. I posted it on my timeline. Let's take a look and see what your energy is for this week, Capricorn. The Chariot card. So Chariot, intensity. Keeping focused on things, keeping things in alignment. The Moon card. So the Moon card has to do with mapping. It also has to do with fear. And what I mean by fear is there's a necessary journey that you must undertake. And you're just worried about the outcome, right? I see the Seven of Swords. Things should be getting easier for you in the next little bit. So you should be expecting to see some of this pressure that you've been feeling and some of this energy that's been tense and strong and on your back kind of thing take a little bit of a lift. So Maya Angelou had said, every storm runs out of rain eventually, and nothing can be more true. The life that we live tends to have a pendulum swing. It never seems to be in one state for very long, which is just the normal phases of life, right? I do see the Ace of Swords, which are new beginnings for you, and I see the Wheel of Fortune. So fate and timing. Interestingly enough, the Wheel of Fortune has played a role in all three of these readings today, and this must be our astrological alignment. I'm seeing the Ten of Cups, the King of Cups, the Six of Wands, and the Seven of Wands. Again, this is with that intensity with the Chariot card. The Seven of Wands tells us that you're going to be feeling a little bit as if, you know, there's this Six of Swords, okay? This is our energy when it comes to things getting easier. So you're going to start seeing the points of these swords facing away from you. So you're not under the hot seat anymore like Scorpio was. Scorpio's literally got these swords and feeling the pressure and things are poking them. But this is you where they're kind of going the other direction. You have the Seven of Wands, right? Six of Swords, Seven of Wands. So the Six of Swords is our energy for things getting easier. And the Seven of Wands still remains busy. So easy doesn't mean stop. Okay, easy doesn't mean the fact that these things are going to disappear, go away, or no longer be a factor, but you're going to get a little bit, probably a little better at handling things this week. We have the Ten of Cups, which is balance, external and internal balance. These two, if they're reminiscent of the Lover's card. And the Lover's card is about conflict, but this card right here is about balance. So you're going to find internal and external balance, which what this looks like is support. So the people that you need to lean on are going to be there leaning back. And so you're going to find this structure, this support. We have the King of Cups, which is EQ. We have the Queen of Coins, which is the ability to nurture, nourish, and protect your money. I am seeing the Judgment card though. So the Judgment card is where there's this intensity and tense energy. There's deadlines, stress, and pressure, right? And judgment is also the word for consequence. So even though you're paying a consequence or there's consequences involved, things are in alignment. This might even mean that someone who is opponent to you finally getting their karma or finally getting their just or judgment, the thing that is supposed to be, right? So the Judgment card is also consequence, okay? We have the Page of Swords here for you, Seven of Coins, and the King of Wands. So the Page of Swords is our card for short temper or willing to fight. So what is it you're fighting for? And remember, is this the hill you want to die on? My best friend says that phrase all the time. She's going to kill me for using it. She likes to reserve it. But I'm using it, right? So here's the thing. She says, is this the fight of all fights? Is this the line that you're drawing in the sand? Is this the hill you want to die on where you're willing to lay everything on the line? And that really reminded me that you're not required to participate in every argument you're invited to. Has anybody heard that one? You know, where somebody comes to you with a conflict and you feel like you need to respond in some way. But I've recently had an experience where someone just wanted to fight. And they wanted to argue and they wanted to keep going with it. And I kept thinking I could fix it. I kept thinking if I responded, if I come up with a plan, if I can articulate, that it would be better. And this person was not listening. So ultimately I had to just let it go. Because in people's stubbornness and their fear, especially fear, you know, when people have triggers that come up, there's just no way out of talking them out of it, right? They can only see what they see. So, you know, we have the Judgment card and the Page of Swords where it's you're prepared to fight. You're actually feeling like you want to. Scratch a little bit. Meow. So we have this King of Wands, right? That is, and you have the King of Cups. Love and money is the same energy here. King of Wands and the King of Cups tells me that you're working toward both your relationships and your work environment, your career, with all the equity that you have. You're giving everything you can to things. And if you look here, we have the moon card. Now, the moon's that necessary journey, but it's not often easy. So the things that you're taking on, you're very clear on the steps that you need to take moving forward. Hello, Capricorn, right? So I have this, moon card where it's a little bit of fear, and the moon card is all about mapping too. Just remember, with the Chariot card in play, which has been the theme of the day for all these readings, really, is, like I said, in Scorpio and Sagittarius, these two horses are going in opposite directions. And it takes the operator and the director, the driver of this chariot, to keep them on track and focused. They weren't equally yoked, but he's going to make sure that this works. Or if they are equally yoked, they've never worked together before, right? So trying to keep things in alignment, what you've done here is with the moon card in play, okay, chariot, intensity, a direction that you want to go. And then we have here the moon card, which is fear, planning, mapping, looking at things with a little bit more intensity. And then we have the Ace of Swords, which is decisions. So decisions have been made. You ever seen that? That's going to be our meme for Capricorn. Decisions have been made. And ultimately, this is going to make things easier for you. So when you have a plan in play that you can follow, and you feel like you can trust it, there's a little bit less of the decision-making fatigue. You can trust the path that you're going on. And I'm seeing Fate card, which says there's alignment for you, which I love. Balance, alignment, ease, busyness. Queen of Coins, King of Wands. You also have the Star card, which means alignment. Okay? Even though there's a little intensity and consequence, maybe you're reaping the rewards of your work and the things that you've done in the future or in the past. So that will bring these elements into your future. I'm seeing the Seven of Coins, which is a change of mind, a change of place. That might indicate a move for some of you. I have no intention of moving. But the Seven of Coins is crossing that bridge, right? For some reason, I keep wanting to pull an extra card today, and I'm pulling the Emperor, which is leadership. So take some leadership. You don't have to consult anybody about the decisions you make, and if they don't like it, it just tells you where their manipulation lies and how it is they want you to operate, which is like a puppet, right? So when you have this Emperor card, it's not that we want to hurt people's feelings, right? It's more of the fact that you want to take leadership, okay? So we don't always look at the Emperor card as a negative card, even though it often comes forward as a card that someone's very domineering. But then again, sometimes you have to take that stance and incorporate and actually channel this energy so that you can come from a place of leadership and power. This is your self-power, okay? Now, kings and queens do represent male and female energy. However, emperors and empresses the same, but the thing about emperors is leadership of self, okay? And empress is going to be protection, more of protecting self and protecting family and nurturing family. The emperor is that go-getter. So what is a Capricorn but a go-getter? This is Aries energy, by the way. All right, let's pull some cards from Mystic Dreamer and look at your Capricorn moon reading. Book your one-on-one, karmaondeck.com. In 2 weeks, we'll be putting on, there's a we in here. So I have the Tarot 101 class that's coming up in 2 weeks. I haven't decided the date and time, but it'll either be a Tuesday or a Thursday evening at 7, so that my East Coast people can get in there by 9 before it's too late, and my West Coast people can join in a little bit after work, not too close to trying to get home because I'm losing people to scheduling. So this series is going to be the evening. The one after will be days again on a weekend. So if you're looking for that Tarot 101 class, let me know what your times are. If I have enough, I'll do 2 at the same time. But let me know. karmaondeck.com. All right, here we go for your Capricorn moon reading. And look at me, Mercury. My Capricorn has a Scorpio symbol or a Virgo. I can't see. I'm going to have to change that. Or somebody remind me. All right. 7 of Swords, winning at all costs. Now, when you guys get a reading from me and I'll be like, ooh, somebody's being sneaky, you look at this card and you can see that they're looking up while they're doing something. So they know damn well that the thing that they're doing isn't either ethical or it's frowned upon. But this card often means, I was teaching my class this Sunday, and when we were going over this card, and this is the fun thing about tarot, is you're always understanding, just like any person or personality, understanding the cards a little better, right? Because they all have positive and negative aspects, right? So a Knight of Pentacles, for example, is a knight that's someone that's out there to go get it, but with a little bit of I don't know what I'm doing. It's like a teenager that's starting to drive for the first time. I can do this. Or somebody graduating high school or in high school. They're super excited yet clueless, right? So the Knight of Coins is that energy of taking things on where you're diving into a project financially and you don't really know what you're doing. Or maybe it's a first endeavor. It's the first time that you've ever experienced or done this type of work, right? So you have this Seven of Swords, which even though it is a negative card or it always presents itself as such, this is also a card for making the best of a bad situation. Now, she's going on a battlefield and collecting swords, right, after the battle. Now, it looks sneaky, but she's doing what she's got to do. So, Capricorn, you're in your mindset right now about doing whatever it is you got to do. Knight of Pentacles starting over with a little gusto. Five of Pentacles, which is a slight bit of like losing hope, right? Like you're feeling a little bit like I'm frustrated. Frustration or losing hope. You're not quite sure that there's enough support out there for you. But I do see the Strength card, and if you look at the element of the Strength, remember that is our parable or our fable about pulling the thorn from the lion's paw. Like pull the thorn from your past, like removing, that's your shadow work, that is your, you know, making friends with your trauma and making it your beast. Like I didn't have trauma in order for me to just be beaten or in order for me to be abandoned, right? I had trauma to teach me. Now those experiences are my strength because I've created a life around that skill set that I acquired from feeling broken. Let me fix it. Find some skill set. Now I'm going to teach it, right? So I've made those my strength. What it is teaching you to look at your past experience and what you've learned from them and using that as your springboard for moving forward. So what have you made your strength? What have you made your power? Like for me, independence is my power. I've not relied on anyone else for about a decade now. And it feels amazing. Now the thing that I was scared of most, how am I going to do this alone, has become my power and my sanctuary, right? I have the Nine of Swords, so you might be finding yourself having some insomnia, some sleep disturbances, or maybe even bad dreams. We have the Lovers card for you, so that's an internal struggle and balance. You know, there's always like this decision that's going to be made, or there's some balance that needs to be struck. So your divine feminine, your divine masculine, is it out of whack? Are you needing to really pull that back into alignment? We have the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, and it's funny, I just said this to Scorpio, love and money is the same energy, right? Don't feel too weighed down. You've got the Ten of Swords, so don't should yourself. Which is the Ten of Swords, which is a burden, the things that you're carrying on your back. So you've been stabbed in the back in the past. Strength card. So for me, for example, jumping in too quickly like this Knight of Pentacles and this Knight of Cups. So Knight of Cups, I have a tendency to jump into relationships. Knight of Pentacles, I have a tendency to jump into money. Because I'm fearless. I have so much courage that I am not afraid to fall down. I'm not afraid to make a mistake. I'm not afraid. But then sometimes that makes me a little too proud, have a little too much hubris. Like you think you can do this, but you didn't think it through. So in this practice, like with this being trail in my past and then the Strength card, I've taught myself to take a little bit more time with my leaps and bounds. Maybe get a partner or a friend of mine that is got a clear mind and aren't associated with the situation so they can give me a good look at it, right? So we have the Judgment card too, which is consequence. So what consequence are you paying right now? Now, consequence is a bad word, but it's not really. It's not a four-letter word. Consequence can also be reward. So have you put the work in the last 6 months where you're starting to see if you actually have some of these rewards? So reap those rewards. I'm seeing the King of Pentacles, so money is coming your way. But I see this Knight of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. So you are very emotional about your relationships right now. You do have the Page of Cups. You're thinking about a new relationship or trying to infuse some new energy, that new relationship energy back into your relationship. And I see a lot of joy with all of that, okay? So Page of Wands as well. So you got to get back in alignment with the task that you've set for yourself at work. You also have the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. And insight. Ooh, I got the hiccups. That must be channeling a little too much. King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles is alignment and balance. And you also have the Lovers card. Now, I always say the Lovers card is not a fabulous card to get because it talks to us about being out of balance. But here's what's true about the Lovers card. It is balance. But when it shows up, it's usually around these conflicting things. And what I see is the Lovers card around the Nine of Swords. So you're staying up at night thinking about these situations and you're worried about the outcome and you're trying to figure out what you can do to change it, okay? So those are just some of the things that are going on with you. It's a little bit more in-depth than that, but that's just things on the surface for you. Real quick before I lose my Instagram, let's get your card out for the Divination of the Ancients. Your card for this week is illumination, which is perfect for you because what is it that you need to illuminate and what is it you need to focus on? Shed some light on your situations. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with